Raja Bhoj and the priest. This story has been taken from Swami Mukundananda's book, The Science of Mind Management. Raja Bhoj was a famous Rajput king in medieval India who ruled over the kingdom of Malwa in the 18th century. In his kingdom was a very learned Pandit. In his youth, the Pandit had been an erudite scholar of the Vedic scriptures. However, when he grew old, he became poor, and the hardships he encountered destroyed his intellect. He needed money to maintain his family, home, and get his daughters married. He decided that the only option for him now was to steal. Where should he steal from? He deliberated that the best place would be the palace of Raja Bhoj himself. With that intention, he walked to King's palace. It was daytime and there were a lot of people walking in and out of the main gate. He mingled with them and inconspicuously entered the court. At night, when the courtiers began retiring for the day, he hid behind a piece of furniture. In a little while, the court was deserted. Pandit-ji thought to himself, "Let me begin stealing now." He searched for the treasure room and, with a stroke of luck, found it quickly. Seeing gold biscuits, he reached out to pick up some. But alas, the knowledge of the scriptures came streaming to his mind, and he thought, "I had read in Garud Purān that stealing gold is one of the pañcha mahāpāp, 5 deadly sins. If I do this, I will go to Kumbhīpāk Narak, one of the many hellish abodes described in the Puranas, and I definitely do not want such a consequence." Never mind, he thought. If I cannot steal gold, let me steal diamonds. He discovered where the royal diamonds were kept. He stooped forward to lift them, but the knowledge of scriptures again came rushing to him. He thought, "I had also read that stealing diamonds is a terrible crime, and one who does it is sent to Raurav Narak, another hellish abode. That will be too painful. I cannot do it." Forgetting scriptural knowledge, Pandit-ji had gone to steal, but each time he endeavoured to do so, the knowledge kept coming back to him. Whatever he would pick up, the scripture would speak to him and restrain him. In this way, he kept moving things forward and backward for a while. He then concluded that stealing was not his cup of tea and decided to get out of the palace. But when he tried escaping, he discovered that there was a strong legion of guards at the gate. Raja Bhoj was a powerful king and his security arrangements were equally strong. Pandit-ji concluded that there was no way of walking out of the palace at present. He decided to spend the night inside, and when more people would be around during the day, he would mingle with the crowd and walk out. But where could he spend the night? Hidden from the guards. He thought that the safest place would be the bedroom of the king himself, for no one would look there. He walked into king's bedroom and saw the king blissfully asleep on his bed. The Pandit lay on the floor under the king's bed and fell asleep. In the morning, a ceremony would take place to wake up the king. Brahmins would chant Vedic mantras, Musicians would play on their instrument, women would dance, and elephants would blow their trumpets. The procedure commenced, and Raja Bhoj started gliding from the dream state to the waking state. He sat up, stretched his arms, and yawned. Suddenly, a thought came to him. I am so fortunate. My treasure chests are full. I have such a huge army with so many elephants and horses. These women are dancing for my pleasure. The Brahmins are reciting Vedic mantras for my sake. Raja Bhoj was a great patron of scholars, the great poet of the Sanskrit literature. Mahakavi Kalidas used to sit in his court. Through his association with Kalidas, the king had become quite a scholar himself. He began composing a verse. He composed and recited 3 lines of a verse describing his good fortune on possessing such opulence, which is something like this: lovely woman who still the heart, friends who are favorably disposed, good relatives, servants who serve with the submissive words, galloping horses, elephants that carry comfortably. However, the 4th line did not come to him. He recited the first 3 lines again and again, but repeatedly got stuck at the 4th line. Now, Pandit-ji was lying under the bed, listening to what the king was saying. In his mind, he was thinking, the king is rejoicing in temporary things, for upon death they will be snatched away. The king made another attempt to complete the verse, but was stuck once again. This time, Pandit-ji could not resist. He blurted out, "None of these will remain once the eyes are closed." Hearing those words, the king was startled out of his wits. Where did this voice come from? He wondered. I am the only person in the room, and the message is so meaningful. Nothing will go with me after death. The king concluded that this was a serious matter requiring further inspection. He called for his servants and asked them to investigate where the voice had come from. Poor Pandit-ji realized that he would be discovered in what he had thought was the safest haven in the palace. Rather than be dragged out unceremoniously, he decided to reveal himself. From under the bed, he poked his head out. The king saw him and exclaimed, "Who are you, and what are you doing here?" The Pandit exclaimed, "O king, I am a renowned scholar of your kingdom, but poverty has destroyed my intellect, and I came to your palace to steal. However, each time I thought of picking something, the knowledge of the scriptures came rushing to me, and I was unable to steal. That is why I came and hid here under your bed, so that I could sleep away in the morning." The king replied, "You are a very truthful person. I forgive you for your offense. But the line you have added is very special. Nothing will go with me at the time of the death. This line has opened my eyes. Why should I revel in the temporary treasures of the world? I have now developed detachment from the worldly opulence. You are like my guru." The king rewarded the Pandit profusely and bid him farewell. This story dramatically reveals the difference that recollection of knowledge makes. When the Pandit forgot the teachings of the scriptures, he fell to the level of the thief. Later, when he recalled the same knowledge, he was unable to steal. Therefore, in order to implement what we have learned from the saints and scriptures, it is important to keep their teachings with us at all the times. This is accomplished through manan, which means revising the knowledge in our intellect.